So, how technically is self-hypnosis or a meditation technique which you can use as a tool in your life, how technically is that achieved? All you need is to assign a space in your life, that is a time, a place, a chair, and it's very important to use a chair because that's something in everyday life, and this is a tool for life. Somewhere where you're not going to be disturbed, you won't have children climbing onto your lap or any other disturbances. A reasonably comfortable chair. You simply assign a certain amount of time, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. It's important that you decide how long you're going to spend because the unconscious mind and the mind loves meditation. And if you don't time limit it, you could be there an hour and a half later and you might miss an appointment. So you sit in the chair, you position your body so that blood flow is not impeded, and that means you uncross your legs. You might be curious about what hypnosis is. It's certainly not a lot of things. One could say that hypnosis is simply focusing internally and paying attention to something in particular. It's editing out all of the rest of the things that impinge on your consciousness, and it's usually done with the eyes closed. And the reason for that is that vision takes up an enormous amount of the brain. So the eyes are closed and there is an internal focus inside the self, and that focus is in a particular place. A lot of our lives are spent distracting ourselves. We don't want to be with ourselves a lot of the time. So we will distract ourselves with entertainments, we distract ourselves with work, we distract ourselves with concerns and worries. Self-hypnosis is an opportunity, and hypnosis is an opportunity directed by a hypnotist to focus inside ourselves and really address some of those things which might be acting upon us emotionally. A lot of the problems that we have stem from those things which we haven't brought to consciousness. They're the things which we forgot. They're like when you were 4 years old and you jammed your thumb in a car door and the car door was blue and you irrationally don't like blue and you get a stimulated heart rate every time you get in and out of a car. But you don't know that memory, you don't have it. And all of these things go up to make our unconscious and to keep ourselves safe in the world. But sometimes these things which are stuck in our unconscious, they damage us. They inhibit our life as it is now. So the work of a hypnotherapist is to mitigate those circumstances and stop them from acting upon us and defeating us in some way. Self-hypnosis, of course, is being able to meditate yourself, bring yourself into a very calm state, and then to self-focus. Probably after the initial self-focus, the unconscious mind takes over and it becomes more like dreaming. But it is an internal focus. So, talking about self-hypnosis, it's an opportunity to sit down with yourself and focus internally and address those things which might come up. How I arrange self-hypnosis is by the use of the idea of a special place. In this special place that you go to, it's somewhere special to you. It can be imagined, or it might be in a real place, or it can be a mixture of the two. And in your special place, you bring it alive visually. So you see it, you hear it, and you feel it. In some circumstances, you might scent it and you might taste it. Those are in rarer circumstances. Mainly, you're bringing it alive through vision, through sound, and through feelings. And you can then put into that special place various skills and abilities. So you can be creative with it. In your special place, if you are a writer, for instance, as Dickens was, a 19th century writer, he had a place to see and hear his characters. So if you're a writer, you could go into your special place and you could just view the story and then write it afterwards. Dickens, in fact, used to sit down in a chair. He used to meditate, go into a self-hypnotic state, and then he would see the characters, hear the characters, feel the characters, and he was then able to write them up. If you are someone who has an ambition that you want to achieve, then you could visualize yourself doing that, putting a blueprint into the mind, making it safe, because the mind will not allow you to go towards something painful. There may be something painful which you've even forgotten, and these things can hamper you. Once they are removed, then you can start to associate the physical body being relaxed with safety. Once you know how to relax the physical body, and that can happen almost naturally, simply by closing your eyes, focusing internally, creating your special place, and then putting some of the resources in there. For instance, if you wish to be slimmer, you can simply go to the special place, take yourself forward in time, and see what it feels like to wear those clothes that you might wish to wear. But you actually occupy, you feel it, you see it, and you hear it. This creates what we call a compelling future. It's compelling because you enlist the help of your unconscious mind. Doesn't mean to say that you can eat all day long and sit in a chair, because if you do that, you'll get larger. But it helps you to focus on the rewards for achieving such a thing. It makes it safe. If you are an ambitious person and you are in a profession, then you can simply envisage that all of these skills are presented to you. They just come in some magical way. If you want to be richer, you might test out finding what it's like to have lots of money pouring down. People do this, and it is effective, it works. It doesn't mean to say that you don't have to take action on the ground. It doesn't mean to say that you don't have to come up against contrary and negative experiences, which you then overcome. However, it helps to align your mind and make use of the very wonderful abilities of the unconscious mind to help you to achieve the things that you want to achieve. So simply sitting down with yourself for 10, 15 minutes a day in a comfortable chair, a reasonably comfortable chair, closing your eyes, focusing internally, creating your special place, and going there and doing whatever you wish to do, whatever task you wish to do. It's experimental. However, I've known a lot of people create an enormous amount of success with it. I worked with one young woman who had a lot of fears about the outside world. She had 9 bolts on her door. So we looked at what those fears were. We removed those, and then she has power. She's a powerful person then, because she's not leeching her energy away with stresses, which is what a lot of us do. We leech our stresses away, we leech our energy away with stress. I often like to see it like a central heating system with every joint leaking. This is an anxiety, it leaks here, leaks there. When you turn on the faucet, the tap, hardly anything comes out. But if all of that is dealt with and the system is tight and you are in repose, you're relaxed, then when you turn the tap on, whoosh, that's where there is energy. So I worked with her over a period of many years. She's now an international film director and writer. She's written and directed internationally renowned films. She's had many, many awards. And she simply did it step, by meditation. She goes self-hypnosis, she imagines the goal. She even imagined herself winning a BAFTA, which is the British version of the Oscars. And she won it. She did get it. The only thing she didn't factor in her imagination was that it was heavy. Everything else she'd rehearsed. This is about rehearsing something that you want to have happen. It's worth doing. And also, sitting down in a chair and relaxing is very, very beneficial physiologically. You give yourself a bath of oxygenated blood. The surface of your skin is permeated by oxygenated blood. It helps to replace the cells. That's why they call sleep beauty sleep, because in fact you're feeding the skin. And also the alimentary canal is bathed in oxygenated blood. So just on a physiological level, there are many benefits. And of course, the psychological benefit is that you learn how to calm down the whole system and take out the stress chemicals, the adrenaline and the noradrenaline, etc., and all of those things that happen.
إذا أعجبك المحتوى من فضلك اضغط على زر الاشتراك واضغط على زر الجرس.